Hello, it's Lois here. Today I'd like to show you one of the ways I like to recycle either old or failed paintings or paintings that just haven't turned out quite as I wanted them to. Rather than just getting rid of them, I sometimes like to go in over the top of them with pen and ink. You can go in with paint again, stronger paint and smaller brushes for detail, just the same as the ink if you'd rather not, but I like to use Fineliner pens, Indian ink, brush pens, whatever I've got to hand, and I look at the painting that I've got and see where I think it can be enhanced. For example, that line of trees there, the shapes are nice that I've painted, but it just needs more detail, and it's much easier to go in and draw in some rough loose trees, branches and canopies with a fine liner. This one's a 0.8 fine liner. I think it's a Unipin fine liner. Yeah. I'll list all of my materials below for you, as always. Now I'm using a brush pen. I can't remember what the variety of brush pen is, but I will list that below. The brush pen is thicker, so it's quite nice to get the chunks in quickly and easily. But not so good for the finer branches and things. I'll speed this up in a minute just to get those trees done, because now you've seen how I do these trees, it's really easy. You just have to just carry on and work along the entire row until it looks how you want it to look. Right, now I'm taking one of my quite thick stick pens that I've carved from driftwood that I found on the beach, and some Indian ink, and I'm just going to use it to very quickly and loosely put in the dark shadows underneath the trees. You could do this with a brush if you don't have a stick pen, or you could do it with a very thick marker like a Sharpie or something like that. Maybe one of those markers with a chisel nib in black would do the job as well. Just whatever you've got really, and that's the nice thing about this, is drawing on top of a painting that already has the suggestions of a landscape. It makes it sort of a little bit easier to then pull out the detail a little bit more, as long as you don't overdo it. Right, now sort of going to start bringing the ink lines roughly across the foreground, trying to be very, very loose with this, trying to sort of build up the idea of a riverbank, sort of running diagonally from right to left of the river, and just putting in some suggestion of some bushes, twigs, brambles on the bank, that sort of thing. Nothing too definite, maybe a fence later. Just trying to put in a little bit more detail. I'm going to have less detail on the left side though. I want my focal point to be all around these, sort of from the middle towards the right hand side. Strengthen up the bank a little bit more, the far bank of the river. Suggestion of some very distant trees, not much. Now just to finish it off, I think I'm going to have a little bit of a broken old fence just on the far bank of the river. I've just put that in with the brush pen, and now finishing it off with the fine liner. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this and got something from it, and maybe seen some ways that you can, I don't know, look at some of your old or failed paintings with fresh eyes and actually see that there's something that you could do to them by going in with pen and ink over the top and just drawing in some more detail. It's a really good way of recycling a painting, and quite often improving it quite considerably. And also it's a good way to practice drawing trees and things like that, landscape features. And as you're doing it on a coloured wash, it gives you some sort of context to draw in, so it's a lot more interesting than just practicing on a plain white sketchbook. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. It'd be lovely to see you here again for the next demonstration. Bye for now.